Aircraft damaged in the passing of Hurricane Maria are scattered along the runway at the airport in Vieques on Wednesday, September 27. Photo Ramon Espinosa. Vieques is located just 8 miles from Puerto Rico's mainland, but since Hurricane Maria hit September 20, its residents have felt much farther away. The island, a top tourism destination for Puerto Rico, was decimated by the Category 5 storm. Houses have been leveled and power, food, fuel, and water are in short supply. Communicating with residents has been difficult. Even getting to the island has been a challenge as planes at the airport were destroyed and ferry service temporarily shut down. As of Friday, government officials are sending aid to the island, but experts say the road ahead could be quite difficult, especially for the tourism industry. Puerto Rico is a very important part of the total Caribbean economy, so the faster they get their economy going, the faster the rest of the Caribbean recovers, says Vincent Vanderpoel, the former Minister of Tourism of the Bahamas and former CEO of the Caribbean Tourism Organization. Rebuilding the infrastructure will be vital to that effort. Getting regular flights started, getting docks and ports operating, cleaning up and reopening hotels, restoring power and cell phone service are all among a very large total list for the government. Tourism represents 6% of Puerto Rico's GDP, according to the United States Senate Committee on Finance. What is very important to recognize is that tourism has the biggest and broadest reach, says Vanderpoel, who now runs the Bedford Baker Group, a travel industry consulting firm. If you find those pockets of prospects of a rapid return for full tourism products, those are going to have an enormously vast effect on the rest of the economy. San Juan, which was impacted greatly by the storm, is the capital city with nearly 400,000 residents, government buildings, a financial center and 2 fortresses. But Vieques is an island just 21 miles long that is completely dependent on tourism. It's filled with secluded beaches with turquoise water and white sand. It also has a bioluminescent bay, one of only about a dozen in the world. The bay is filled with microscopic marine organisms that light up at the touch. They need to have an advocate in the central decision-making system in San Juan, Vanderpoel says. As an isolated island, it's important for them to get back. Jose Izquierdo, executive director of the Puerto Rico Tourism Company, says in the first days after the hurricane, it was difficult to reach people in Vieques. But they since have been able to send the Air National Guard in to take supplies such as water and food, he says. As of Friday, the ferries from the Puerto Rican mainland are operational. Flights to Vieques and the smaller island of Culebra are being dedicated to relief efforts. Commercial flights to and from Vieques and Culebra are expected to resume on October 2. Many hotels have had to shut down or are not taking new reservations for the next few weeks. The W Retreat and Spa Vieques Island, for instance, sustained significant damage by Hurricanes Irma and Maria, and is closed until further notice, says Kirsten Sackle, Director of Public Relations and Social Media for the Caribbean and Latin America for Marriott International, which owns the W brand. All guests and associates are accounted for, and we have no reports of injuries at this time, she says. Izquierdo says it is still unclear how the hurricane has affected the bioluminescent bay. He says the Department of Natural Resources would determine that. Published photos have shown destruction of beaches, but Izquierdo says rescue workers have not yet been able to assess all the damage. It's been a week away from that hurricane, and all our resources are now committed to safety and security first and foremost, he says. The government is deploying more people next week to do a survey of the destruction, including its effect on the beaches and other natural attractions. We'll definitely look into that because it's such an important part of our tourism offering, he says. The tourism sector of Puerto Rico has been a driver of economic development. We obviously took a hit, and we have to refocus and bounce back. Read or share this story. Tpsusit.ly2yy5ajo